I can totally see, but if you flip my lens on, the big difference is that Jesus Christ is God. Is God. He's one and the same with God. And so that makes a huge difference in the application of the atonement for sins through the cross and the crucifixion and the blood of Jesus. And remember, he didn't stay dead. He died for our sin. So he's not dead. He'll never be dead again. That's one of the things I have troubles with. You know, you see a lot of crucifixes of Jesus Christ, and he's still hanging on that cross. I cringe when I see those. I'm like, hey, he's off of there, man. He's never going back up there again. He'll never pay that price again. He'll never die like that again. He's risen, sits at the right hand of the Father, and he'll come again in glory to judge. You know, to judge us. But does that make any sense? And I'm not asking you to agree. You know, we're not here to convert anybody. I'm not here to convert anybody either, because the only thing that can convince anybody is God. I really appreciate these conversations because it's extremely valuable. But my job's not to do any convincing. I just understanding it, and I'm just trying to help you clarify that. And what's really valuable for me is understanding of it, so that I can kind of see that lens. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's opening up some understanding for me of how you view Christianity.
Well, thanks for that, bro. And I said I was being brutal, and I did apologize in advance, and I apologize again. I mean, I don't mean to hurt your feelings. No, I do mean that. I do mean that. I don't mean to hurt, but I just need to say what is in my heart, right? Obviously, the fact that it is God only makes it worse in many ways. It doesn't improve it. I'll explain. There were three injustices. The first point is, can God be at all unjust in any circumstances whatsoever? And our view is that he cannot. It is contrary to his nature. He just cannot. He is not unjust. So when we discover injustices in a doctrine, we say the doctrine is wrong and not God. Okay? So, is God unjust here? Well, there are three injustices that we spot immediately. The first is that he constructs a law which I cannot follow. But we say that God only asks of us. Now we have a saying, there's a fundamental Muslim belief, on no soul does Allah place a burden greater than it can bear. This is about souls, of course, and not on bodies. But on no soul does Allah place a burden greater than it can bear. So he doesn't ask of us what we cannot do. He doesn't. So that's the first point. He does not create laws for us just for fun, which we cannot follow. It's odd. Now, second point. So that's an injustice in itself, right? Second injustice. That the person who is paid for a payment, Jesus does make a payment, regardless of whether he is God or not. A payment is made. Agreed? So that payment is made on whose behalf? On behalf of the criminal. But the criminal didn't make the payment. So that's unjust. That's injustice number two. The criminal should pay. Injustice number three, who makes the payment? The one who is innocent, whether it's God or not. That's unjust. That's unjust. So there are three injustices there which are inescapable. That can't be God, because God is just. So much for the injustices, but regarding as to whether he is God or not. So we ask, what does it mean that God makes a sacrifice? What does the word sacrifice mean in the context of God, who has everything and cannot change? Unchangeable God. What does sacrifice mean? That's point A. Point B. What does death mean? What does it mean God died? What does that phrase mean? I asked Firefly that the other day, and I still, I don't think it means anything.
Man, you were on a roll there. I thought you were going to keep going. Look, outside of you and me, there have been libraries written on what you just said. I mean, there are volumes and volumes and volumes of scholarly literature that talks about all of those issues. And here, but I'll share with you what I was thinking as you were talking. You were talking about just. Is God just? well, God is God, and in my opinion, whatever God does is just. Do we understand it as just? No. Does it make sense to us as just? No. But is it just? Yes. Is it mercy? Yes. I mean, can mercy and grace factor into our human understanding of what God does in the way of some